There are many ways to learn how to tie a bowline. I'm going to cover 3 methods that are simple to learn, easy to remember, and can be applied to a few different situations. Before we start tying, let's just go over the components of a bowline. First thing, we've got our eye here. Remember that a bowline creates a loop, a fixed loop or an eye in the end of the line. This is our eye. If we look at the knot itself, the front side here, very recognizable. Bowline would be considered the face, and if we flipped it over, a little bit less recognizable side would be considered the back. And up at the top here, this which would be the working end, sometimes referred to as the tongue. I call it the hood sometimes. Kind of looks like a hood of a sweatshirt to me. And then we have our standing part coming out of the top, our standing end this way. So, to start, first method that I'll be talking about is known as the rabbit in the tree method. Has kind of a little nursery rhyme to go along with it, and we will start like this. We're going to take our working end in our right hand, leave a bit of a bite in the middle, and have the standing end in our left. Step 1 is going to be making an overhand loop in your left hand. We know it's overhand because the working end, if we follow it back to the loop, will be on top of the standing end. And from here on out, we are going to term each part of our line here. The working end will be called the rabbit, the overhand loop will be the rabbit's hole, and the standing part will be the tree. So as the riveting story goes, the rabbit comes out of his hole, goes around the tree, and back down into his hole, and that gives you the kind of exploded version of a bowline here. And if we grab both pieces of the working end, or the rabbit that went out around the tree and back in, both of these pieces and the standing end or the tree, and pull, that will give us our bowline. Now, a few things to consider here. Number 1, when making your overhand knot, it must be an overhand knot. If you do that part wrong, and we have, say, an underhand knot here, and we do all of the remaining steps correctly, it will not give us a bowline. It will fall apart. So it is imperative that when we make our loop, it is an overhand loop. Another thing to consider, a lot of people tend to hold it like this for their first time, with both the working and the standing part kind of running off in the same direction towards your pinky. I like to position my hand in between the working part and the standing end. This way, once we get to the step where we need to go around the tree or go around the standing part, it is right over our index finger, laid out, very easily distinguished from the working end down there, and it is very difficult to mix up. It's a little harder if we have both working end and standing end going down, running or down towards our pinky. Once we get here, it can be a little confusing which end we need to go around. So, again, I recommend when we're setting up here and we're making our overhand loop to position your hand in between the working end here and the standing end over here.